All right, today we're going to go over setting up the Arizona Vortex. We're going to set it up as in a tripod configuration. There's a couple different ways to set it up, but this is pretty much the basic what you need to know from the beginning. So everything you're going to need is on the squad in the rearmost driver's side compartment. The main 3 bags: rigging bag, your 2 leg bags, your 4-to-1. That's what your 4-to-1 is going to look like. CMC 4-to-1. A rigging bag, this was from Ladder 9.7. The truck also has one. And then we'll get 1 extra rope bag, life safety rope. We're gonna start here in the rigging bag. The rigging bag has an inventory sheet in here if you ever need to look, see what anything's called, or see what's in there. This is the most important piece. This has our pins. There's 17 pins in here. They all have the same tether to them. They're the same length, same diameter, everything's the exact same. There's 1 pin in here, in this orange pouch. This pin is a little bit longer. It's the only one that's different. So here's a normal pin. This one's just a little bit longer. That one stays in the pouch here. That's a backup Azorb pin. So the Azorb is this piece here. The main Azorb pin stays in the Azorb at all times. We don't need that right now. More use for setting it up as an easel or something like that. For a tripod, we don't necessarily need it. So make sure 17 pins are in this bag at all times. Then you have the head. Head's rated for 23 kilonewtons, about 5,000 pounds. An extra little 50-foot rope bag. 3 hobble straps. These are going to be at the bottom of the, connected to the feet. These are really important, so make sure we don't lose those. They get wrapped up like this. There's 3 of those. So next, we're going to go to our 2 leg bags. You have inner and outer legs. This is your inner leg. There's 3 of these. 7 outer legs. These are our outers. Each leg's going to have 2, so one's going to be set aside, not used. That'd be for like if we're setting up as an easel or something like that. Our feet. So these are our regular feet like this. There's 3 of those. We'll set that aside. That's what we're going to use for the tripod. And then we also have a bag that goes here on top as well. These are raptor claw or raptor foot, raptor feet. We don't need those for a tripod right now. So we can set those aside. So we're going to start setting up the legs. We'll set up one first. Grab your foot. I always start with an inner. This is a lot easier this way. Line the holes up. Pin goes in. We're going to have the pins all going in the same direction. See here in a minute. Our outer leg goes on. We're going to line it up with the bottom. Grab another pin. Again, going in the same direction. There's a little notch here, so you can't really mess that up. Flip this over, our pins are going to go in the same direction. So we have the notches on our outer legs here. We've got the head. This gets kind of tough, easier with 2 people. We have both of our notches on the exact same, the middle setting here. And then it lines up the holes for us automatically. I still like the pins going in the same direction, so they're going from this side. Those are good. Tim's gonna hold that up. We'll grab our 3rd leg. Get that hole lined up. Pin goes in this way. All our pins are still lined up. Another thing that's important here is we'll build it at this height. Now, if we take out this pin on each leg, we can adjust it. We'll do that in a minute, but we're building it at this height. We'll get our system built and then we'll raise it. We have our tripod set up right now and built. This is going to be built away from the hot zone if we were using it in a confined space situation. Our entry point is going to be somewhere over there. We're going to build it here and then we'll pick everything up and move it once we have it set up. So we'll start with our 4-to-1. This is going to be a pre-rigged 4-to-1 CMC. It's going to be in this bag just like this. You can take this CMC carabiner off. You don't need it. Use these pins. These are 1/2 inch diameter pins. These are rated for 32,000 pounds, so quite a bit more than the Vortex head. And then these regular 3/8 pins, those are 18,000 pounds. So we have our 4-to-1 for our belay. In our rigging bag, on the ladder's rigging bag or the truck's rigging bag, they all have the exact same layout, same equipment. There's a bunch of carabiners. I always have a few carabiners on me at once. And then this is our ASAP we're gonna use for our backup line. ASAP, same thing. This pin comes out, you can go right in like that. And then we can take an extra carabiner here, I have one. We'll put that in there just like that for now. And that's gonna be a redirect line, which we'll talk about that later. We're gonna start with our backup line here. I tied a scaffold knot, put our carabiner through the scaffold knot. This is gonna go to your rescue or your load. This is your ASAP here. This is what we're gonna use for our belay line. It says up, they're up, but it's pointing down because that's our load. Slide that in, close that. This is our redirect carabiner. We moved it to the outside just to make things a little cleaner. Slip the rope through your redirect carabiner. And this is how we test this ASAP. The load's gonna be going down. If this were to fail, you see it locks. Then we'll unlock it. And now this free moves back through here. So now we have our backup line ready to go. That would go on first. Your main line would go on second. This would get locked out. Make sure you always lock these carabiners out. Not all of them have that, but these CMC carabiners you do have to lock out. This is your release lever. You can see the rope's a few feet long. You pull on this with the load, it's gonna get longer. We have our backup line on, our main, our 4-to-1. Everything's rigged, we're ready to go. Let's say we were gonna lift this. Obviously, if we had, let's say this was our hole, and we needed to pull out 2 people or one person was coming up, your harness is gonna be here. You don't have a ton of room, so you wanna get up a little higher so you can haul them up over the hole and then move them out of the way. So if we take this bottom pin out, this is what's gonna be our adjustment. This you're gonna kinda have to work together. And we go by how many holes are showing. So if we decide that we wanna do 2 holes showing, we're on our 3rd hole, kind of communicate with everybody and say 2 holes showing. And usually you'll have a couple other people or at least one other person kind of help you at the same time get this lifted up. So we've got everything built. We need to put our hobble straps on. We'll come back to the bag. We're gonna grab our hobble straps, undo like this. I'll have Tim help me here with this one. If you have your ropes already set up, you wanna make sure these go underneath your ropes. These hooks will go right here. And if you've noticed, all of our feet, they have a little bit of like a horseshoe shape. They all are facing into the triangle, into your working space. That's called the resultant. So Tim's gonna put that other one on the outside like that. And then you just tighten those down. If you haven't seen one of these before, it's pretty easy. Loosen it here, and then you just tighten it down. Get it about just like that. You can have a little bit of slack, and then Tim will kind of coil that up nicely and just put it here out of the way, or maybe here. Just, you don't want it dangling around in the way. Just so we can walk through it and you guys can see it all pretty much built from start to finish. This is gonna be basically your final product of your tripod. So we have our 3 legs built, 3 inner legs on the bottom, 6 outer legs. We have 2 holes showing. We've got our 3 hobble straps on. They're out of the way. They're not twisted or anything like that. All of our pins are going in the same direction and they're facing out. I'm a big fan of them facing out rather than on the inside. Let's see, we have our backup first. That would get connected first. We have our main. We checked our backup. Make sure that works. We have our redirect carabiner here. This is the lower. You release the lower. And this is the haul back up. That wraps up the setting up the Arizona Vortex in a tripod configuration. If you have any questions about it, you can ask me or any one of the FTOs. And now we're ready to go to work.